Hi, I'm Malcolm McGrath, cabinet maker, and today I'm going to talk about how to get an estimate. One of the things people ask me when they're starting a cabinet project, such as a kitchen or some built-ins, is what's the best place to start? And I think one of the best places to start is really to get an idea of the overall budget for the project, because if your budget is $2,000 and what you think you want is going to cost $20,000, then it's really a non-starter. So you don't need to waste a lot of time on fancy architectural drawings or driving around looking at things, or I don't have to waste gas coming out there to look at to tell you that basically this doesn't make any sense, given your current budget or frame of reference. So this can all be done very simply and quickly, and usually I can do it online, just over email. You send me some information, I can give you an idea of where to start. So I'm going to go over what you need to do that, and it's not complicated at all. The first place to start is really to get an idea of the sort of thing you like, and all I need for that is some online or some general digital photos. You can get these at all kinds of websites. There's one called houzz.com, Houzz, and there's all kinds of pictures you can download. They've got hundreds of thousands of pictures. So here's one that someone sent me. They wanted this type of kitchen. It's kind of a brown shaker style with sort of modern looking handles. Here's another one, and this is a modern looking kitchen, or I should say so slightly less, but white kitchen. So all this is all I really need to get an idea of the sort of design and style you want. And secondarily, what I need is a basic layout. So the layout can be very simple. It doesn't need to be exact. One of the reasons, because I do all my cabinets custom, you're not going to run into a problem where I said, I quoted this on a 32-inch cabinet, now you want a 33, so the price changes. Because it's all custom, I do whatever size. Before I actually produce anything, I kind of measure everything up on site. So there's no problem in terms of 2-3 inches here or there. It makes no difference in the quote or the price or anything like that. So this is something someone did on a little home interior design package, which these are free or very inexpensive, and you can play with these at your leisure and come up with all kinds of designs. And so it doesn't have to be exact, just a general layout, so I know the number of cabinets, the kind of size of the space, and what's involved. But even that is more complicated than it actually needs to be. Here's something sent to me by a general contractor. This is all I need to do a quote. It's got, you can see how simple it is, FP, fireplace, TV, and then it says this will exist, so the center part I'm not building. And the outside says make this approximately 62 inches both sides. It doesn't have to be exact. The height, it says less than 7 feet, which is fine. That's all I need. And that's what it is. So all I need is something this simple. If I have this and a sort of digital picture of the kind of thing you like, that's enough for me to give you an estimate. The one other thing I do need is an idea of where this project is to take place, because I try to stick to a fairly narrow service area so I can offer pretty good service. So if you're going to tell me this job is in Hamilton, I really don't work. That's way out of my service area, so I probably wouldn't take the job on. So I might even tell you, look, that's a $15,000 project, but I don't think I'd take it on. So yeah, an idea of where the project is and also what the timeline is important, because if you say I need it tomorrow, I could just say, well, I can't fit that in. So I also need the timeline and the location. So once I have that, I can put together a quote, and it's very simple. This is one I did for Sammy Bazooka, who lives at 123 Streetsville on the 10th of Fantabulary. Along the lines of this Toyota management system, I try and keep everything on one page, so everything you need to know is all right here. And at the top part, I just specify what the kitchen is made of. It says supply and install kitchen as per sketches. And then it says cabinet boxes of maple veneer, drawers solid maple dovetail, the doors MDF with solid color lacquer, and end gables, kick plate, and crown molding to match exterior finish. And the price is $14,000. And that's all you need to know. Down here, it's the terms of payment, basically 40, 40, and 20. And then there's a note at the bottom which just says what's not included, and basically this is, tax is not included in that price, and it also fancy cabinet hardware such as pull-out brackets and TV mounting systems are not included. I usually do those on a time and material basis. And the other thing is basically it says things like drywall, plumbing, appliances, TV hookup is not included in this price. So that's all you need to know, and that usually doesn't change much over the course of the project. If you add a lot of other things, if you say, well, I want this fancy hardware, I want to extend the size of the kitchen over another 20 feet, well, then that will change the price. But generally, this is more than enough that you need to know whether or not you want to start the project. And once you've established that, you can say, well, this is great, this works for me. Then I can come out and take it to the next step. So I hope that's helpful, and bye.